What's going on, everybody? Jeremy here from The Quartering. It may be a holiday, but I am going to make sure that if you are stuck at home with nothing going on, that you are well entertained. There is a lot of news today in the video game world, as well as in the movie world. Modern cinema. Oh, it's so great. Well, Dave Chappelle. I've already covered how people who probably never saw his new comedy series, Sticks and Stones, which, by the way, is hilarious. Now, I don't advocate supporting Netflix for various reasons. I also obviously don't support sailing the high seas, but you should probably watch this movie somehow, maybe on a friend's account, or, well, I don't control you. And before I get into the rest of this video, huge shout out to today's video sponsor, NordVPN. I've been using a VPN for the past few years, and given everything going on in today's internet world, it's something I strongly recommend you look into. NordVPN has over 5,200 servers in 60 countries, no data logging. It has an extension for the Chrome browser, which is lightweight, user-friendly from the very first click. It has super fast servers, 24/7 customer support, up to 6 simultaneous connections, which means your computer, your laptop, your cell phone, whatever you want to protect. It also has an automatic kill switch. Keep access to your favorite websites, entertainment, and content, and forget about censorship or bandwidth limits. NordVPN was selected as the best VPN at the VPN Awards in 2018, and right now they're offering a huge 75% off deal off their 3-year plan, including 1 free month. And most importantly, you support the channel when you check it out. Hey, you're going to need a VPN, and even though the offer is ending soon, NordVPN is offering 75% off their 3-year plan, including 1 free month. So why not support the channel while browsing the web securely by following the link in the description below and getting NordVPN today? Actually, Dave Chappelle, I believe, next to Norm Macdonald, is one of the most hilarious comedians currently active. Now, there probably are many others. Maybe I'll say mainstream. Obviously, somebody's level of comedy, type of comedy, will vary greatly, like what you like. I love Dave Chappelle. I, in fact, came across him probably in a different way than most people did. To me, hands down, the funniest man alive is Norm Macdonald, maybe the funniest comedian ever. And I came across Chappelle in a movie he did with him called Screwed. I think that was back in like 2000. And I thought he was funny in that. And then I saw, obviously, his iconic film Half-Baked, which is still, by the way, still holds up today. A great movie to watch in between watching the Quartering uploads. Chappelle then went on to star in a basically network-saving show, The Chappelle Show, which paved the way in a lot of ways for shows like Key and Peele, which was also very funny. But things got too real for him. He ended up having some sort of weird breakdown and just kind of walking away from it all. Enter the redemption arc, where he's returned to the stand-up stage with several just awesome specials in which he does what makes all comedians great. If you want an insight into the type of comedy that I like, you watch like Norm Macdonald at the president's dinner thing, whatever that's called, I forget, correspondence dinner, or you kind of got to know some sports ball references. But Norm Macdonald at the ESPYs, I think I remember the video, the YouTube title is like Norm Macdonald eviscerates everybody or something like that. What is similar about Norm Macdonald and Dave Chappelle is they pull no punches. They dish it out to everybody. The problem is, in modern day, problem in air quotes, is there are people that you cannot or should not make fun of. And that is never more present than in comedy. Comedy in a lot of ways is just generic, boring, and unfunny. Why? Because they don't take risks. They don't want to risk making a dark humor. They don't want to risk a joke that might offend somebody. Dave Chappelle went out on stage and just offended everybody. Made fun of everybody and everything, from the Frenchman Jussie Smollett to, just everybody. And it was hilarious. If you just want to watch some clips, there are clips out there from the Netflix channel. Let's see how people enjoyed it. Here is him talking about The Juice. 91,000 upvotes to 2,000 downvotes. Here's his Jose Smollett incident joke. 136,000 upvotes to 3,000 downvotes. Now, a lowly YouTuber like myself that just basically covers news could only dream of that kind of ratio. By the way, if you enjoy what I'm doing, just drop a like on the video and leave a comment. It helps a ton. So clearly, the general public thought the stand-up was hilarious, all right, outside of the few people that were offended by it. Now, Rotten Tomatoes, however, get a 0%. That's right, 0. That means of everybody that interviewed or that reviewed the film or the stand-up, gave it a unfavorable response. I don't know if this is related, but tangentially, just a few days ago, Rotten Tomatoes reports adding 600 critics to Tomato Meter in diversity push. Now, since Jump Street, I've been talking about how I don't understand how the color of somebody's pigment would qualify them any better or any worse than anyone who watches a movie. I mean, it's an irrelevant trait of the human body when you're watching a film. That's what I think is so hilarious and sad about these people that obsess about it. They obsess about this kind of stuff all the time when the rest of us are just like living our lives and laughing and enjoying. Well, Rotten Tomatoes added 600 critics to get their numbers up. Said it added 600 independently verified critics over the past year as part of an ongoing push to support underrepresented voices in film, TV criticism. Now, again, this is always easily debunked in terms of what is the correct number? What is the right number of Asian ladies to review films? Now, I'm curious. I'm asking. If you know, leave it in the comment section down below. Of the new critics, 55% are women, 60% are freelancers, 10% publish reviews via YouTube, podcasts, and other emerging avenues. So 10% of the 600, so only 60 people seem to have a job in which they review films, but I don't know. This news comes a year after the digital brand said it was revamping its criteria for the Tomato Meter, a gauge of sentiment in order to foster inclusion. You know, Rotten Tomatoes is a joke. It's always been a joke. I will say I strongly like the fact that the only reviews that are allowed to be pushed through are people that have verified seen the movie. I like that. That's a very nice feature. Now, can we still trust Rotten Tomatoes, which has been proven during, for example, the Captain Marvel or the Star Wars debacle, proven to delete large swaths of user reviews with no evidence whether or not they saw the film? What's to stop them from just deleting negative reviews, even if you are verified, right? Nothing. There's nothing to stop them, and of course they're doing it. Why can I say that so confidently? Because they've always done it. Rotten Tomatoes and Fandango are an arm of major cinema. 100% of their advertising comes from new releases. They make their money selling movie tickets and charging a convenience fee. Okay? They are not an independent review source. They are a marketing arm. The inclusiveness objective has many facets: gender, race, ethnicity, as well as platforms where critics' work appear. Given the shift from newspapers and magazines to digital platforms, a broader conversation has been unfolding across showbiz about establishment arenas such as criticism. In addition to critics, the composition of festival juries, awards voting blocks, and other power positions have been questioned, given the changes to modern society's makeup. Along with verified critics, Rotten Tomatoes also said it's renewing its annual $100,000 grant pledge to provide resources to reviewers at film festivals. I think that's awesome. As long as there's no strings attached. As long as there's no, hey, you've got to look like this to get our monies. But, you know, I don't know why we haven't seen more reviews. Here's a thought. I don't know this to be a fact, obviously. But is it possible that people are purposely not reviewing the stand-up out of pure outrage? You have, by the way, added more than 600. That means who knows how many you had before. Maybe you had 1,000 before. I think it's safe to say you have well over 1,000 people reviewing for your tomato meter. Why is only 5 of them allowed in here? Here's a top critic. Like dropping in on that rascally uncle who doesn't know or doesn't care how much he's disappointing you. Sticks and Stones is terrible, and Dave Chappelle can only blame that on himself. Remember the upvotes ratio I gave you before. The set mostly misses the mark. I challenge you to watch his bit on the Juice or Jussie and not laugh out loud. I laughed out loud several times in just a 3-minute clip. The set mostly misses the mark. The truth, Chappelle remains one of the most vital and certainly among the most daring of stand-ups. His latest hour is a setback. Sticks and Stones isn't necessarily a failure. It just feels like Chappelle presenting a half-formed material with few jokes that truly hit hard and stand out. Sticks and Stones is designed to generate inflammatory coverage. Its symbiotic cycle with no end in sight. It's become the latest thing a beloved provocateur should ever want to be: predictable. And yet you wrote this review anyway. Rotten Tomatoes reviews are a joke. The audience score to me seems at least something that you should question, especially if you find a difference in the modern consensus. But nonetheless, the comedy special is hilarious, and this only serves to sell more copies or to get more views of the show. Keep doing you, Dave Chappelle. Don't worry about offending anyone. I think it was hilarious. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.